Cardano is about to get a major boost in terms of things from total value locked, user activity, to the amount of developers being able to build on Cardano. All of these things are about to go up starting tomorrow. Why tomorrow, you might be asking? Well, tomorrow is the main network release of Milkomeda. Milkomeda, if you don't already know it and you haven't already heard me talk about it on the channel about 10 times, is a layer 2 sidechain for not only Cardano, but a bunch of other layer 1 blockchains like Solana and others that can be compatible. Cardano is going to be the first deployment for the Milkomeda experience using the sidechain, and right now even I have done some testing on the testnet. I've wrapped up my ADA, I've sent it to the sidechain, I've used it on a Milkomeda based DEX testnet. If you want to know how to wrap your ADA and how to send it, there is a video right here that I've done, and I'll leave a link down in the description which walks through it and shows you how with testnet, but also mainnet's going to be pretty much the exact same process. So if you want to wrap your ADA up, send it to the sidechain and get ready and get prepared for mainnet. You can do so following this video, link down in the description. Now, why the heck would you want to wrap your ADA? What the heck does this mean for Cardano, and why is it going to boost user activity? Why is it going to boost development activity? Why is it going to boost total value locked? Well, starting off with just generic, what is a sidechain? Basically, what Milkomeda is trying to do here is allow any Ethereum-based project or an Ethereum virtual machine to port over to another blockchain easily, and also leverage all of the most used smart contract language Solidity's tooling for other blockchains. To give you a general idea of what a sidechain is, it's pretty much a two-way bridge where one blockchain can be connected to a separate blockchain, which also runs in parallel to the one it's connected to, or the mainnet version. In this case, it would be Cardano's mainnet and also Milkomeda as the sidechain running in parallel, but operating independently of the Cardano blockchain. Now, there are some flaws to a sidechain model typically, but a lot of this has been actually worked out and overcame with something Milkomeda is doing, and that is wrapping smart contracts, or wrapped smart contracts. If we zoom in here and we read this, we know that current sidechain technology alone is not enough to attract both developers and users to migrate to a new ecosystem, as it is even now still pretty complicated when using the test network versions to navigate to a sidechain and know that, hey, are my assets safe? Is this a good idea? This is where Milkomeda comes in big. They have spent a lot of hours researching and developing a brand new concept, and I don't think this is just a buzzword. I actually think this is a really good concept, wrapping smart contracts, or wrapped smart contracts. With wrapped smart contracts, the L1 blockchain, so say Cardano, becomes a robust coordination layer that users stay on while executing smart contracts on sidechains without having to move over to the sidechains themselves. This sets up a very good user experience overall for the table on end users' part, and encourages people to use sidechains whether they know it or not, wherein they will have the power to execute smart contracts on various systems without having to switch wallets or even knowing what's going on behind the scenes, as I just mentioned. This will provide such flexibility and power to end users, will set a new standard for smart contract-enabled blockchains and their ecosystems at large, pushing forward the ones which adopt this new technology with significant traction and interest. So the end users will have a great experience. They might not even know they're using a sidechain, and everything's going to be very quick and hopefully reliable. Using wrapped smart contracts on this sidechain and this new concept, it's a very, very upgraded version of a sidechain compared to previous examples that we may have looked at before thinking about wrapped smart contracts. So that's how end users benefit from this. But in terms of end users, there's not going to be any end users without developers and decentralized applications that those developers have built. Now, Milkomeda, actually, that part has already been sorted for them for the most part. The wrapped smart contracts were the icing on the cake to get users on board of these developments. But now developers can have a project on Ethereum, coded in Solidity, and port it over to Cardano, per se. That is pretty huge. Having the amount of tooling that comes with years and years of development on Solidity from a lot of experienced people brings over a new era of experience to Cardano that we haven't really seen before. So now that we know, developers are probably going to be on board with this because they can come from places of familiar expertise and port over to other blockchains. That is one cat in the bag. We also have user experience being not only you don't have to really transfer between mainnet to this sidechain, you don't even have to know you're using it, but also in all of that process, users will experience a lot more benefits in terms of throughput, in terms of their transactions going through right away. It may take longer to appear on mainnet, but when things are happening on the sidechain, likely the user is going to have a better experience in terms of times for things to finalize and things alike. One example of this that I can think of right out of the gates is a play to earn game. Play to earn games have a lot of transactions, microtransactions, and likely, if you want a thriving ecosystem, are going to have little things that would be really useful to have on a sidechain, a marketplace, or ways to get NFTs from one wallet to another without having full transaction fees or full wait times for queuing transactions. Putting these things to sidechains does make a lot of sense, especially when there's so much microtransactions going on, and games like play to earn and other aspects will benefit heavily from using this, and the user will also have a much greater experience. There has been a lot going on for Milkomeda over the past few months, and they have been building quite a lot, starting with Cardano's public mainnet going forward tomorrow. This is going to be pretty big, and already, as we can see here, if this doesn't speak for itself, I don't know what does. They have Coinbase among countless other popular investors backing them, and I do think there's a real reason for this. If you're watching this video, you probably already know a lot about Cardano and why Cardano is so good and it's great, and you probably have your own biases to confirm, but all in all, there is something that I think is really important that Milkomeda mentions in their introduction. Following Metcalfe's law, which basically says the size of the network is the value of the network. This means that superior technology can give a slight edge, but it does not in itself guarantee a definitive win against established competitors. Promising crypto projects are a part of this set of tech products, thus it is necessary to achieve critical adoption growth trajectory to actually come out ahead over the long term. And I really do think Milkomeda is doing this. I really do think that having sidechains and having interoperable ways of doing things without really giving too much in on the user functionality side and the user experience side, but making that overall better is going to help long-term crypto technology take over the traditional systems and legacy systems. Now, in terms of Cardano getting boosted from Milkomeda, I do think that not only will TVL go up, users count will go up, and also the amount of developers and dApps that those developers are building will go up significantly because of all of the available tools that are provided when Milkomeda releases on mainnet. Now Cardano has all these tools from Solidity deployable straight to Cardano. There is going to be some downsides to this. Obviously, it's not going to be able to utilize quite as well all of the benefits of Cardano's EUTXO model, but there still will be a lot more quality on Cardano, similar to Ethereum's quality because of Milkomeda. I do think that the total value locked numbers will go up a ton from Milkomeda because when people start developing dApps, and when they do, will be sooner than later, and have them deployed where people can seamlessly go there, lock up liquidity, or do whatever else for their users in a very, very friendly fashion and quick fashion using the sidechain of Milkomeda. There's going to be a lot more people interacting with this space and a lot more developers already making things to interact with for the users of Cardano. We're nearly at $500 million in total value locked, and I do think that $1 billion is very close around the corner, seeing as Milkomeda is launching tomorrow, and there's already so many other DEXs and dApps that are ready to launch that promise things like no impermanent loss and other great features. That's pretty much all I have for you today. If you want to check out Milkomeda on Twitter, you can to stay up with the latest updates. And if you like this video, you found it helpful, informative, or whatsoever, and you want to earn passive ADA on your ADA, please consider staking with the Jack Stake Pool. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found this video helpful. See you in the next one. Peace out.